I'm still trying to figure out how in a matter of 4 months I've went from this to this to this. It's all your fault, Jeff. Hey, what's up, bookworms? Mike back to talk some Kindles again, but not quite the way that we have in the past. Now, I'm going to say up front, I don't really have any structure for this video. This isn't an essay. This isn't a review. This isn't a, hey, do this when this happens. This is just kind of me just being real about it, because there's been a lot of things that have happened recently. If you've been under a rock, you don't know maybe that you can't download your books that you buy off. And basically, you don't own the books that you buy on the Kindle anymore. And it's one of those things where, like, look, I am pretty much 100% telling authors and creators to get their money. It's never one of those kind of things. I'm not really against DRM protection or anything like that. What I'm against is basically saying you will own nothing and you will like it. And we're going to kind of talk about that a little bit in depth here today. Now, I've talked about every kind of Kindle you can think of on this channel. I mean, I've talked about the Paperwhite. I talked about the new Paperwhite. My wife got that. I talked about the Oasis when I upgraded to the Oasis and how much I liked it. Recently, like 4 months ago, just bought the Kindle Colorsoft and thought, okay, that's going to be my e-reader for the next decade probably. And then all this news comes out. And I've always been afraid to switch. I've had lots of people tell me, hey, you know what? In all those Kindle reviews, I had everybody tell me, Kobo is a way better device. You should give it a try. And I looked into it a little bit, and I was like, it's kind of like, several times I've thought about I was going to leave iPhone and try an Android phone or something like that. And what always kept me from doing it was familiarity, and not wanting to learn a new OS, and then also, the fact that I spent all this money on accessories and all that stuff. I know how to use it in my car. It's just one of those things you didn't want to really start over. And that's kind of been something similar with Kindle, but what's kind of really just pushed me over the edge is that I cannot take this 1984 stuff, for lack of a better word, which is ironic because they just deleted 1984 off of Amazon Kindle devices. Wild, right? So first we started hearing about how there could, books you've already bought, they can go into and they can edit, because they're editing like Ronald Dahl stuff and things like that. They can edit those and leave them on there, or they can just flat out take them whenever they want, because in the end, you're not paying for the book, you're paying for a license to use it. So why am I paying full book prices to not actually own the device? So that, to me, it's just too much to me. It just got to the point where I was like, I've just had it with this. That just made me finally say enough is enough, telling us again, you're paying for a membership fee, basically. And I've railed many times about how I cannot believe that Kindle books, like digital copies, cost as much as the actual physical disc. I'm a physical media fan, obviously. I prefer to do it that way. I got really into Kindle because, one, it's convenient when you're on a trip, you travel a lot, and two, it's easy for me to read in the dark at night, not keep my wife awake like I would if I had a lamp on. And, obviously, them Brandon Sanderson books cracking you in the face don't feel good if you fall asleep. If you're like me and I got to make it to the end of a chapter before I go to sleep, that's happened to you many times, I do think. So as of February 26th, you can no longer take books that you have bought on your Kindle and download them, back them up onto your computer. And I think by now that's just been like the biggest betrayal I can think of. And people are like, why does it bother you so much? Are you planning on like putting these on different devices? Well, look, as someone like me, when I first started this channel, one of my earliest videos was making the switch from iPad to Kindle. And what made me comfortable in doing that was I didn't have to start over. All those books I bought from Apple, I was able to easily just move them over to my Kindle because there was no real problems with that. You really clicked and dragged. It was easy. And I've always been able to do that with this and had the comfort of knowing that if I do want to change to something else, I can always just take the books that I've had with me. Now it's like, hey, you can piss off Jeff Bezos. I mean, it's a stretch. You can piss off Jeff Bezos one day and also he could just like suspend you. And hey, thousands of dollars you spend on digital books, gone. And nothing you can do about it. So to me, that was just like, do I think maybe moving to another company is better? Probably not. You'll probably end up having the same problems. But to me, that was just like a huge betrayal after I've not only championed Kindle devices for so long and been like, you guys just, you just hate Jeff Bezos because he's rich, right? It was one of those things where I felt like I had poured so much time, money, and effort into talking about the Kindle and why I think it's the best reading device. And this just feels like a complete slap in the face. It's almost as if we had authors to warn us about stuff like this, about editing our art, about taking our books away. Ray Bradbury, George Orwell, you heard these guys? It's unbelievable that they would actually go through with this. But, you know, when I pay full price for a book, I expect to be able to keep it, not be told I'm basically paying a membership fee to use your device. That's bullshit, especially as much as these freaking things cost. You're basically telling me now I don't own anything. And that's just too much for me. That was the final straw for me, and that's what's kind of pushed me into the arms of the Kobo Libra Color. And we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. But Kindle has a huge stranglehold on the market, obviously. That's been like the big thing. It's like everybody will complain about Netflix, but they know that they'll absorb anybody that they lose when they do another price increase, like they do every single 3 months now. There's a new price increase on Netflix. That's a whole different can of worms. It kind of makes me think of this similar, that they know they have such a big stranglehold in the market that someone like me steps away from the Kindle. They're like, okay, well, we already got your money. We already got your money for the device. We'll absorb somebody new that comes along. Because in the end, I think the majority of Kindle users do not even care about this. They could care less. They never have any plans on taking their device to back it up on their computer, taking any of the books that they want to another device, anything like that. So they're fine with this. They have no problems with this. It's all about the convenience, you know? Book releases at midnight. I can press download, boom, the book's on my device. I don't have to get out and go to the store. I don't have to put pants on, you know? I prefer that you do. But here's the thing. With the Amazon mastering, the one-click to buy method has made them just like untouchable. It's hard to top that. And another thing that's kind of always made me leer away from the Kobo is that the store isn't as easy. And that's a big one of the things. And that the selection isn't as big. There's been a lot of things where it's like, look, there's authors I love, like Philip C. Contrail, Ryan Cahill. There's authors, self-pub authors, that are Kindle only. And I cannot get them on a Kobo device. But again, like I said, that's why physical media still exists, and it's still my preferred way because of things like this, guys. I get so much flack about being like, I refuse to pay full price for a digital version of that video game. And they're like, oh, you can get it like right away. You don't have to go anywhere. It does not matter to me. I still buy physical albums. I still buy physical video games, Blu-rays, books, because they can't take it away from you. They can't edit it. And then you just kind of quietly take it off your shelf, edit it, and put it back. And you don't even know about it. That's what they've been doing with a lot of Kindle books. Kindle's also starting to sell like some of these AI books and stuff. It just feels like a complete betrayal. But again, you know who this will affect is people who were like me and wanted to make the switch to another device. It's going to hurt people like that know that they never have another option. They can't ever leave Amazon because they won't get to take their library with them. And I think that's just a complete betrayal. I can't think of a better word for this. This is just absolutely ridiculous. What a decision. I understand that they can use the excuse of we're doing it to fight piracy. Okay, buddy. That's cute that you really want people to believe that. That's a nice PR statement, Jeff. I just disagree with it. I read on my iPad for almost 10 years, and I had no problems walking away from it because I did it because I thought it was ruining my eyesight. Kindle was much better to read off of. There's other options now. So, but they made the switch easy, being able to take my library with me. You know, now everybody had to do this mad dash to back up all their books. If you're like me, thousands of books, guys, because I've been buying digital books for the last 15 years. And had to take them all and put them on my desk. You had to do one at a time too. It wasn't even like a bulk deal. I heard there was like something where you could do like 25 at a time, but it wasn't like safe or something. Like it could damage the files. No, I painstakingly hit the dots and did the download every single one of my books to get them onto my desktop. But with these changes, man, it was one of those where I was like, times change and so must I, right? And that's why I said this is very much a good time to make that switch, guys. And that's why I placed my order for the Kindle Libra Color. And this is one of those that's got this sucker right here as well. And it makes me think back to when I reviewed the Kindle Scribe. And I was saying what I didn't like about it was that you couldn't write anywhere. You could only do like the note system that they had, only on books that you bought directly from Amazon, no side-loaded stuff, no stuff that you brought over from another device. Apparently, this doesn't have that restriction. So this sounds like the better device already. Now, look, it's expensive. It's expensive. And that's the big thing here. I just bought this 4 months ago. Do you know how frustrating that is? It's extremely frustrating because I feel like this was something that I gave them my trust, and they've just slapped me in the face and been like, not so fast, my friend. You can pay to borrow these books. I was like, do I got to pay late fees next? I mean, that feels like the road that we're headed down. But to me, that's why things like eBay exist. Another reason I like to buy physical over digital because you can resell them if you feel like you made a mistake. But with this, I don't know for sure that I'm going to love it, obviously. But for me, it feels like the principle of the matter. You know, who knows? A month from now, Kobo might do the same thing. You know, you never know. And look, I want to make sure you guys understand. If you are sailing the high seas, that's up to you. That's nothing that obviously that I want authors to get their money. So I'm never ever going to encourage that you do that. But I know that a lot of comments will just be, yeah, you just download, you just pirate your books, and who cares? You know, that I'm not even going to talk about that. This has physical buttons on it too. So this just sounds right. Like a good move. Anyhow, so look, is Jeff Bezos, he won't miss me. Obviously, I'm not even a drop in a bucket. To a guy like that's got a stranglehold on the world, obviously he'll be fine. That's why I think that they're okay with doing a move like this. They know that they can absorb any minor hit that they take. They'll get a bunch of new people that are buying used Kindles for half price on eBay right now. I think they know that they'll get that. Again, most people don't even know that this is a thing. They didn't even know you could back up your books, nor do they care. It's all about convenience for them. But for people like me who still consider physical media the way to go, and doing something like this is for like convenience, but you still want to feel like you own the book, yeah, it's a big slap in the face. Definitely a big slap in the face. So the question I'm going to get a lot is, are you going to review this? Well, of course. Of course, I'm going to use it for a while. I'm going to review it, and then I'll talk about it and how it compares with my other two e-readers that I have. And the reason I still have this, I just can't get rid of it. I guess I will now. It was one of those things where I was like, I just can't get rid of it because I still like the physical buttons on the Oasis more so than the color swap, but I was kind of forcing myself to use this. All right, cool. Problem solved. This has color and it has the buttons, so it has a little bit of everything here. But no, in the end, like I said, I wasn't paying for a membership, Mr. Bezos. I wasn't paying for a membership to your service. I was paying for the book. And I feel like you just completely slapped us all in the face, and again, said you will own nothing and like it. And that's just not anything someone that loves Fahrenheit 451 would appreciate. You know, it's just not cool. It's just a complete betrayal. And that is the word of the day, guys, betrayal. So like I said, I don't really know what else to say about this. I feel like there's been a million videos out there being like, hey, make sure you do this by February 26th. I was a little late to that. I figured at this point, everybody had made that message. They all knew that. You didn't need one more booktuber telling you that. But I just would tell you my experience and why I've decided to make the switch. And it's not because Kobo did anything. It's because they didn't do something. And they didn't do what Jeff Bezos and Amazon decided to do, which was completely stab users in the back, which is amazing when you consider the fact that Amazon started as a website for book lovers. Forgot where you came from, didn't you, Jeff? Well, hey, that's where I kind of stand, guys. Let me know what you think about this. I'm going to finally give this a try. Again, way too expensive. So there's my first thought about it. You know, this pen costs $60, and you can only use their pen. This is ridiculous, right? But hey, I figured if I was going to go for it, go all out and talk about the whole thing. And if I don't like it, I don't like it. But again, I feel like as long as they're respecting their users a little bit more than Amazon, I'll deal with a smaller library. I'll deal maybe with some more expensive prices, not as good of digital sales. I'll deal with that to know that I'm paying that price, but I get to keep my book and I get to back it up to my computer in case I ever decide to switch to another device in the future. Because as we know, in this ever-changing world of innovation and technology, things are going to come and go, and you never, ever can plan for it. So guys, let me know what you think about this. Are you keeping your Kindle? Did you never have one? Will you be choosing to switch to Kobo like I am? Do you have a Kobo? Do you want to let me know what you think about it? Hey, drop in the comments, please, and let me know. And I'll be talking about this. Let me use it for a while here and see what I think about it. And then I'll give you guys kind of a comparison or making the switch from Kindle to Kobo, because I feel like that'll be a little bit more what you guys are looking for. So hit me in the comments, guys, and I will talk to you there.